Hey guys, Road Warrior back here. I recently took second place in Steelhead Showdown. This is a comp that a comp that I love, but it seems like sometimes the stars have to align. Nonetheless, I was able to put together a good run in it, and actually three of my club mates as well had a good run on the same thing. I've had several scores in the 115 to 116 range for whatever reason. It never seems to hold. I just want to walk you through this kind of a more modern how-to on this one as well. I do prefer a thunder spin. You don't have to if you like a griffin spot or an empress or a kraken. That'll all work. I do like a slower reel speed in this one, even with the topper. I do think it helps to keep the lure and the strike range just a little longer. But again, that's personal preference. Any one of these reels would work, and obviously that's just a DLC version of the smaller Zeus as well as the larger Zeus there. So on the event, anybody wanted to pause and look at that. In the event you're playing this for your first time, you've never played in it, here's some marks for you. Now you can get a unique from here or the dam. A lot of people, I tend to try to get mine over here in this spot. Now you can get over here in this other area. As you can see, I just marked the edge of this dam. And another reason I've marked that, I used to have that mark back in there, but I'll walk up here and show you something. I've noticed since the last big update when they changed the fighting mechanism on the game itself, two things. One, the steelhead can get lodged back in there, so even though you can cast farther back in there, I don't now. I do cast short, and I do like the slower reel speed just in the event because this is such a short cast. I think it does help you get a trophy out of here, or even if you're going for the unique. Also, a keynote on this, if you have to catch that unique, you want it to get it respawn fairly quick because it takes 30 minutes on the respawn. So in other words, you need to catch it preferably within that first 5 to 8 minutes if you're following along. So if you catch that, let's say 5 minutes in, you got plenty of time for it to respawn. So make sure you have that mental note. Now you can catch trophies as well over here, or the unique. You can get the unique over here as well. Also, on a side note, my buddy Pros for Life had explained this to me. If you don't get the unique within that first half hour, you can actually get one off of this dock over here. So in the event you don't get your respawn or your first one in time, try to come over here. It doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen for you. In other words, if you don't get the unique over there, come over here in this whole arced out area from there all the way through here. You can kind of cast out and see if you can pick up the unique. And I hope that really helps you out on that, explaining that part of it. Now for the actual run. Okay, now for the actual run. This was kind of a different run that I've had. There's so many things that can go wrong. Here's the first cast. Not to mention in this modern era of fishing planet for right now. I think we all know when we're aware of the flying fish. Number one problem that you're going to face is when you go to set the hook. Is the fish going to actually bite your lure and actually get the hook set, or is it just going to fly off the map? This run in particular, I didn't have the issue where I was missing too many and flying off. I'd get into a nice size trophy here right off the bat, but you can kind of pay attention along the lines here again, just to reiterate everything. Ideally, you get that unique, within that first 5 to 8 minutes. That way you got plenty of time, for it to respawn. Now, if it gets to the point where you're down to that 35-minute mark, you're only going to have 5 minutes towards the end. As you can see here, paying attention to the timestamp, I'm casting back. This is after trying multiple lures. This run in particular, just kind of showing you, it doesn't really matter the toppers. I know some people will say 6-0, they'll get their uni out, so that's entirely up to you. But as you can see here, I'm getting down to the point of no return where it's going to be hard for it to respawn. I didn't end up getting this through here, and again, I am this time in particular, I do have the Kraken on. That's another thing that I will mention. I do like the Thunder Spin better. But if you're in an instance to where time is an issue, you can work that lure a little quicker. So and again, you have to be flexible enough to change that around. Now sometimes, like I said, I do lean heavily on the thunder spin now on this one just to try to. It seems like they miss it a little less too. That could be in my head, but again, that's personal preference. That's not an actual big unique. I think in this one in particular, as you can see too, it took me forever to get my second trophy here. We're looking at 13 minutes. Remaining, so I know my respawn's available around that 7-minute mark. As you can see there, it lightly misses it. Again, going back to what I said, some of those I've noticed they'll spawn back in those rocks or in that wall and they cannot get out of it. But again, having this thunder spin on here, you can see how slow this reel speed is. Since it's a really short cast, it gives me more of an opportunity. Right there too, advanced tip, if you notice there, you can rewind that, I hesitated fully. As soon as I seen him come up, I literally stopped reeling that and let him, you know, take it by the hook, so to speak, before I even attempted to lift the rod up. In other words, that's something you want to practice. That is an enormous trophy, 19.8. Again, that's what I think bailed me out in this one. Now I'm coming all the way back here. Again, I was striking out on the dock for whatever reason. I used to be able to almost always get 2 trophies from the dock, but this run was definitely unique and ended up being a kind of a blessing in disguise. As slow as my trophies were to get out, I just happened to get, you know, 3 nice trophies here. Now I'm waiting here for the respawn. As you can see, I got 8 minutes left, so I'm a little bit early. That's another keynote too. You might come back to the spot wherever you got the unique. If this is your money spot, so to speak, and this is where you like to get the unique like I do, it's a good idea to come back and kind of clear your tile a little early, get out any smallmouth bass, that sort of thing, and even obviously go for another trophy if you need it. In this instance, for me, I was still waiting for my 3rd trophy, believe it or not. Very weird run. Now again, you can play in this, get 2 small unis, 3 gigantic trophies, or you can just get 2 big uniques, and nonetheless your trophies are small. So I did get another 18-pound trophy there. I'm sitting in decent shape, and I'd actually forgot that I only had a couple trophies, so my math was a little off. I was thinking that I could only gain 12 pounds or something like that, but nonetheless I could gain 17 because my smallest was, that's if I had a small unique. Nonetheless, I am casting back out here, getting under the crunch, hoping that I can get this unique, and I'll kind of just let the rest of this play out for itself. And definitely a competition if you've never played in. I would encourage you to play in. It's a lot of fun, can be frustrating. Also, guys, notice I do have my reel maxed out here. Those rocks to your right, they can get hung up, so that's a good idea to go ahead and max your out. Something you want to practice with. Look at my reel shredding video if you do not understand what I'm talking about. That will help you out keeping those steelhead from getting hung up in the rocks. And here at the end, I only had a few minutes to kill here, but I was just showing you here, straight off the dock, all the way to your left, to your right. Just in closing, you know, pay attention to your respawn timer, that sort of thing. You'll also notice, I think toppers have definitely been the way most people have evolved to now. Poppers, walkers, they will work for you. You will pick up more striped bass and smallies, it seems like, without the toppers. The only thing you usually miss on the toppers is occasional smallmouth bass, and you will get a few Chinooks. So I hope this helps you guys out, and take care and good luck. And we'll see you in the next one.